Hello, Bagby Barracudas. This is BNN for Monday, May 24th, 2021. And now it's time for Name That Teacher's Pet. This pet's name is Chili Jalapeno. He watches over the neighborhood like Batman. Who does Chili Jalapeno belong to? If you guessed, Miss Diaz, you're right. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy this week's Bagby Art Program Art Slideshow. And now it is time for Miss Buffton to read this month's book.
Hi, Bagby Barracudas. This is the last story for the Bagby News Network of the year. I'm hoping that next year we'll be able to come in the library and hear stories together again. So today we're reading a summer story. Since it's coming up to summertime, it's called Tippy 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 Splash. Mr. McGreely, this is Mr. McGreely, had bunny problems. He had bunnies in his garden, bunnies in his shed, bunnies in his cupboard, bunnies in his bed. So in the other books about Mr. McGreely and the bunnies, Mr. McGreely decided he wanted to plant a garden. And the bunnies kept getting in and they kept eating everything. So he kept building taller and taller and taller fences till he got this high. Thought for sure they wouldn't get in. But they hid in the basket that he carried up, and they still managed to eat his veggies. And in the second book, they tried to get in his house, just like the mouse in the Visitor to Bear book. And they kept sneaking in, and they kept taking things, and he kept boarding all the windows up and the doors. And then he spent the winter in the house with no buddies. He was very excited. But then when spring came, he found the bunnies couldn't get in, but he could not get out. "I can't take it anymore," bellowed Mr. McGreely. "I need a break. I need an escape. I need a fun day at the beach." Mr. McGreely grinned as his idea grew. "What fun!" he exclaimed. "I will search for shells, fly a kite in the sky, surf on the waves, and build a big tall sandcastle. Best of all, there won't be a pesky pufftail in sight." So, bright and early the next morning, Mr. McGreely packed his surfboard and his snorkel, his sand pail and his shovel, and he bustled off to put on his bathing suit. And tippy, 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 pat, click, click, snap. Minutes later, Mr. McGreely slid into the driver's seat. "Goodbye, bunnies," he called out. "What fun!" He hummed a snappy, happy tune all the way to the beach. Once there, he spread out his blanket, flopped on his belly. "Ah," he sighed. "Let the fun begin." But tippy, 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 pat, flip, plop, flop. Mr. McGreely saw the three little bunnies sunbathing on his blanket. He was angry. "Oh no," he exclaimed. "No bunny, no how, no way is sharing my fun day." He stomped away in search of shells. Sift, sift, poke, look, lift. He uncovered half a sand dollar and 2 cracked clamshells. "By golly, that was fun!" exclaimed Mr. McGreely. "And just look what I found." He skipped back to his blanket. Meanwhile, Tippy, Tippy, Tippy Grab plucked from the sand, Tippy Nab, 3 little bunnies combing for shells, dragging a sack as big as themselves. Oof, look at that. They got a whole bag full of shells. When Mr. McGreely saw the 3 little bunnies' big heap of sea treasures, look at all those shells. Wow. He was really angry. "Trying to show me up?" he sputtered. "Well, let's see you wily twitch whiskers do this." Grabbing a kite, he ran up and down, and up and down the beach. Huff, huff, gasped, pant, puffed, and the kite bounced along behind. "By golly, that was really fun," Mr. McGreely wheezed happily, "and my kite even lifted off for a second." He headed back to his blanket. Meanwhile, tippy, 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 dash, down the shoreline, tippy flash, 3 little bunnies flying a kite, clutching the string with all of their might. Whee! Mr. McGreely saw the 3 little bunnies, kites swooping and soaring above the clouds. He was really, really angry. "You infuriating flop ears may have caught the breeze," he cried, "but I bet you can't catch a wave." And tucking his surfboard under his arm, he sprinted across the sand, dove into the surf, and crash, smash, glub, blub, blub. He washed ashore, spitting and sputtering. "Fun!" Mr. McGreely coughed. He dripped back to his blanket. Tippy, 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 dash, riding the waves, tippy, splash, 3 little bunnies glide on shore, then giggle and wiggle and splash back for more. Cowabunnies! They are kind of show-offs, aren't they? When Mr. McGreely saw the three little bunnies shooting the curls and riding the waves, he was furious. He was furious at the end of the other stories also. "Blast you, wily twitch whiskers," he shouted. "You want to see fun? I'll show you fun." Snatching up a pail and shovel, he stormed down the beach to the sand castle contest. "First prize wins lunch at the Veggie Hut," said the judge. Mr. McGreely dropped to his knees in the sand. "By golly," he fumed, "let's see those four-pawed show-offs do this." And he started building, but crumble, tumble, plop, plop, slop. All he could make was a mound of wet sand. "So much for my fun day," sniffed Mr. McGreely. He wiped a tear away, and then, tippy, 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 ta-da! Mr. McGreely looked from the bunnies to the other sandcastles and back to the bunnies. "Well, maybe," he finally said, "just this once." So together they shoveled and shaped, scooped and caked, molded and piled, and patted and raked until they built a big, tall sandcastle, decorated with seashells, with a bright kite fluttering from one of the towers, and the surfboard serving as a drawbridge over the moat. "The winner," declared the judge. He slapped a blue ribbon onto the castle and a gift certificate into Mr. McGreely's hand. Mr. McGreely grinned. "Now that," he exclaimed, "was fun." Muncha, muncha, muncha. So I think the bunnies just really wanted to be with Mr. McGreely, but maybe now that he found that he could work with them and do something fun with them, maybe he'll let them into his garden, into his house. I hope that you'll be able to go to the beach and build some sandcastles this summer, and I'll see you next year in the library. Bye-bye.
Hello, Bagby Barracudas. I thought I would stay with the ocean theme for my jokes, and I couldn't just tell you one, I had to go with two. My first one is, why can't you blame a dolphin for doing anything? Because they never do anything on purpose. My second one is, what is a shark's favorite sandwich? You guessed it, peanut butter and jellyfish. Hope you enjoyed the jokes. Have a great day.
Hope you enjoyed today's episode, and remember, Barracudas, choose kind.